WFL22, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Ravens and the Buccaneers, and it comes your way next.
On the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. With the echoes of cannon blast still end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at our home side in this one. They know coming in they've got to be at their best because they're facing one of the better overall defenses in the NFL.
And this is not one of the better offenses around in terms of running the football. So they understand that they're going to be put to the test a bit. The big plays in the run game, they haven't been there of late, so maybe that means we'll see them shake things up a little bit. Some RPOs, some touch passes, some draw plays, anything to try and gain a little bit of momentum.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. On the return, Devin Duvernay. The number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Jackson from the shotgun. That's complete, left side to Bateman. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? Be able to get him in the 2nd round? That's what I call a steal. A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete as well.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. There, get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. And this will be called officially. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Running again with Barkley on second down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. He'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, try to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. 2nd down at 4.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
Again, Jackson. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. So a pretty nice throw right there from the rookie. And this, of course, is game number 2 of his NFL career. His guys did not get the win, Charles, in the opener. But what did you see from him last week?
Well, I think all things considered, he played pretty well, and I don't think I'd pin the loss on him. But there's no question, this is a learning process, and that was step 1, and he's hoping on the road to glory.
It was Chuck Clark coming up to make the tackle. Well, this defense for the Ravens, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And this is going to be a Bucs first down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, this shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They go play action here on first down. Going up top for Miller. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 16 carries, 72 yards. On second down, a run with Dobbins. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That catch good for only a couple.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackled him for just a short gain.
From the 44, Jackson. That'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Here's Jackson to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, we keep stats on everything, don't we? This is one that you don't want to have. That's his second drop right here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say, only in the first quarter. Certainly a ship that he wants to right quickly. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Barkley on first down, running into a wall as he's stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. The incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Tyus Bowser coming in and dropping for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Ravens, they'll take over. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They got the victory last week. That was against Jacksonville, and they lead this one as well right now out in front here. They've got it 1st and 10. Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he'll go down shy of 40 at the 41.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. It looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
How did he stay on his feet? And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Ravens in their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the run. Baby, that's big sock.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. A nice little juke, and he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0, our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2nd and 15. Jackson. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9. Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. They'll run the screen with Mack. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 40-yard line.
Working with a 2nd and 3. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert, but right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for this with Mack, and he's going to get this inside the 30. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Watch the pass. Mike 6. Mike 6.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here. And he's got room. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. So there you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. 10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done. That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, but a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A big play there on the catch and run.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
A 1st down carry for Barkley, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. I think that's Mack who's still down. Yeah, it is. Mack apparently shaken up there. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll look to throw here. This is caught by Evans. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Good job there defensively to push them back on 1st down. I'm not sure if this is 4-down territory or not, because they can kick the field goal and get it back within a score. But you know that's not what they're thinking right now. A field goal has to be their last option.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. 3 tight ends up front here. 3rd and goal. They'll set up to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Blankenship's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. It's a big play there for Baltimore.
Well, for all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area, and he just put it well over his head out of harm's way.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Edwards. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
punching it in from a yard away. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays.
And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. On second down, here's a run with Mack.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Justin Madubuike
Just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect. When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
81 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
Baby. Let's go!
Back now in Tampa. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a...
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 1st down, Dobbins. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Joe Tryon coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Tucker's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Back now comes Tampa Bay. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. This one complete to Scott Miller. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 41. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the 1st down marker. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 35 yards that time on the punt. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drop. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Tyus Bowser picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And that one almost intercepted. Could have been his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Going down the middle, and it's complete. 30, 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Bucs are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch.
And I think this is what the early proponents of the forward pass were thinking about. Get it to a receiver and have him do some work afterwards in order to create the big play we just saw there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. Extra point attempt to come here. It's up, it's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And in for the Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens are on their way to a 2-0 start. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded right around the 8. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. It means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. And they're going to speed things up here.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1. Oh, he's thinking end zone for Evans. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. He'll look to throw. This to the outside for Mack. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And quickly they get to the line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is going to fall to the ground incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8.
That'll be complete to Alan Lazard. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
This defense.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
They don't want it, but
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. This will be fielded inside the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On third down, Barkley. Barkley a first down and more, as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They'll run on first down. Barkley, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Baltimore, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.